How birds avoid colliding in the air. 11 fascinating facts about birds. Source: The Times, by visualgk.com. Why birds migrate, and how they navigate. Migration is chiefly a means of maximising birds' exploitation of available food. Some species fly directly when migrating, others take winding routes along landmarks. Some fly out and back along the same route, others have a more circular journey. Some stop and feed along the way, others tackle the whole journey in one non-stop flight. More often, birds rely on detecting and interpreting magnetic fields, using magnetic material in the bill and special cells in their eyes. They may also navigate by the sun and stars. Much of the information about direction and distance of flight is, incredibly, encoded in their genes, and an internal clock lets them know when it's time to migrate. They also learn from experience, so their first migration is always the most perilous. Birds have 7 different types of feather. The structure, shape, and colour of a feather will reveal not just which bird it belonged to, but where on the bird's body it came from and what its function was. Contour feathers smooth airflow over the wing and waterproof the head and body. Tail feathers are for steering, balance, and display. Wing feathers are shaped to provide power for flight, and down feathers lie next to the skin and insulate a bird's body. Birds have specialist feeding skills. Some species have evolved to become specialist feeders, such as the green woodpecker, which has a sticky tongue that's perfect for collecting ants' eggs, or the serrated edges of a sawbill duck's beak, which is ideal for holding onto a wriggling fish. Herring gulls will drop shellfish on rocks to break them open, while song thrushes bash snails against a stone. Species such as newthatchers and jays even store food for later, while others simply steal. A great black-backed gull will mug other seabirds for their catch. Kingfishers' feathers are actually brown. Strange as it may seem, in nature, there are almost no true blue feathers. They appear blue because of the way the light is reflected from them, not due to pigmentation. It is light bouncing off the surface of a kingfisher's dull brown feathers that creates the blues and greens that we see. What nests are really for. Nests are not birds' homes, they are simply where they lay eggs and, often, raise their chicks. But some birds take a lot more effort than others over the building process. From the few gathered stones on a beach of the ringed plover nest to the long-tailed tit's masterpiece of lichen and feathers woven together with spider silk. And while buzzards, hawks, and kites make their own stick nests, falcons will just use old crows' nests or simply lay eggs on ledges with a bit of soft lining. How birds see. A bird's eyes have more cells that capture information and carry it to the brain than we do, giving them a wider range of vision. For example, they can see colours in the ultraviolet range, which we are unable to, and the eyes of night hunters, such as owls, are more sensitive than ours to low light. Swifts can fly for months on end. Some birds are capable of high-speed aerobatics in short bursts, such as swallows. Others are supremely efficient endurance flyers, such as godwits, which can remain airborne for days at a time, and swifts, which live on the wing for months on end. Some birds can smell worms underground. For many birds, smell and taste are not highly developed senses, although studies are revealing they have greater significance than once thought. Woodcocks, for example, can smell worms in the soil. Birds have relatively few taste buds, but sweet sugary tastes may make them return to valuable foods such as berries. How birds stay waterproof. Birds preen their feathers to keep them free of parasites and dirt, moisturize them with an oil they produce naturally, called preen oil, so that they stay flexible and strong, and align them in optimum position for waterproofing and flight. Other techniques used to maintain feathers are stretching out the wings, fluffing the feathers, sunbathing, and bathing in water and dust. How birds avoid colliding in the air. Some birds, such as starlings and knots, form flocks that can perform highly synchronized aerial maneuvers. They know when to swerve and dive and avoid collision thanks to their spatial awareness, which is thought to allow each bird to track just the birds around itself, filtering out the rest of the flock. Why some birds change colour in the summer. Although the plumage colours of some birds, such as blackbirds, are relatively constant, other species change their plumage to look their best for breeding season. For most birds, such as starlings, finches and waders, this means dull winter colours but much brighter hues in summer, with even the bill colour changing in many species. Please like, share and subscribe. visualgk.com